The No Fate channel, checking in. Jonathan here with the head-to-head comparison between the Force USA Tandem Tower and the GetRX'd Phoenix cable tower, and we are going to do it live.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
That's right. I've been asked so many times when I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison because so many of you want to pick the right one for your home gym. And when it comes to cable towers, they're quickly taking over and replacing functional trainers in terms of popularity as well as in terms of usage. They take up a lot less space, they tend to cost a little bit less money, and they have more functionality because they tend to be easier to do lat pull downs as well as low rows. At first glance, these two look eerily similar, and they do have a few similarities before they diverge. They both have 3x3 11-gauge steel and 1-inch holes with 2-inch hole spacing. Why is that important? Why would you want to be interested in that? That means that all of your 3x3 attachments are going to fit, whether you want to utilize them on these cable machines like doing dips, or if you actually wanted to just use them for storage in a home gym environment. We're trying to save as much space as possible, and having extra storage is always a benefit. And frankly, that's why so many of you are going towards these cable towers. Now, one similarity that isn't going to be completely obvious has to do with the price point. Now, just a quick glance, you can see right now these are both fairly different in price. You got a pretty big price jump, but the truth is these are actually eerily similar. They are so close. They have different discount codes. I think I'm going to put links in the description for all of this stuff so you can see which codes are running. I think if you use my code NOFATE247, you can save like $100 off that tandem tower. But the fact is they're so close, it's not even funny. I know you're looking at them, you're seeing a couple $100 difference, but it goes further from there because the tandem tower gives you more attachments up front. You get a V handle for your low rows, you get a foot plate as well as an aluminum lat pull down bar, and not one but two band pegs in order to add bands to this thing. And so that is essentially the same price as if you would have to buy those separately and you bought the Phoenix cable tower. Now, if you look at the Phoenix cable tower, they do have a lot of extra attachments that you could buy and utilize, but they are going to cost you a whole lot extra. So if you want to get those front stabilizing feet, that's $165. If you wanted to get the adapter, which Force USA throws in for free, that's $30. You want to get the lat pull down and low row pad, $170. And I know when it comes to money, it is always tight. You're always looking to get the best deal. Check out the links in the description because these companies are always throwing sales and having different promos so you can see which is cheaper, at least as of today. I would recommend don't always go for the cheaper item because you're going to have this in your home gym forever. You want to buy the item that's right for you and not necessarily just the one that comes in at the lowest cost. And that is it for similarities. I mean, that's how few similarities these two have. It's all differences from here. And we're going to start with some easy ones. If you have low ceilings, the Phoenix cable tower is probably not going to be right for you. It comes in at 94 inches high, and most basement gyms are going to be capped out at like 90 inches. Some of the taller ones kind of go up to 100 inches, but that's typically tends to be specialized construction. At least in New England, most of the ceilings are going to be like 85, maybe 90 inches at most. The tandem tower comes in at 87 inches, so that's going to fit a lot more of your rooms. And I will tell you that even though it's only 87 inches, when I stack the actual handles all the way to the top, I am able to do a full range of motion on a lat pull down from an adjustable bench seat. Some of you are absolute gray back gorillas, and you want to know how heavy these things can go. And I'll tell you straight off the top, they both come in at 200 pounds as a base unit. Now, GetRX'd, you cannot upgrade that weight. However, tandem tower, you can, for $250 extra, upgrade the weight stack. And I'll tell you, these upgradable weight stacks always seem to be a lot of money, right? 50 pounds, you're paying $250, that's a lot of money, but you never regret them. When you go with the upgraded weight stack, you never, ever regret it. And if you wanted to go even heavier than that, you can absolutely add gym pins to both of these, and the tandem tower allows you to actually connect bands for that banded resistance. Today's video is fueled by caffeine and affiliate links. Check out the links in the description. They support the channel. It's not a one-way street. When you use those links and coupon codes, let me know so that I can send you just a small token of my appreciation. Now, when it comes to the trolleys, there is a differential. This trolley for GetRX comes in with one piece and two arms. This is a very heavy trolley at 39 pounds. For reference, I need two hands to lift it and lower it. My wife needs two hands, and it is a lot of effort. And my son, who's 11 years old and is built like a string bean, can absolutely not lift it or lower it safely. I will tell you that the tandem tower has dual handles. The nice thing about that is that each one is lighter. As far as which is better and which is worse, there's no clear-cut answer. Both of the rollers are exceptionally smooth on either of these, and it is an easy process. It's just the weight of the trolleys. I think if you've got younger people, or if you've got like your wife who's going to be using this often, or you're going to be working out with someone else, you probably want to go with the tandem tower, because having those two make it not only easier to move one at a time, but you can also set one high and you can set one low. When you get a cable machine, you care about how smooth the pulleys are. And I can honestly tell you that both of these were exceptionally smooth, buttery smooth, really, really nice. I mean, there is not very much difference. I mean, it's hardly noticeable, but if I had to pick one over the other, GetRX'd Phoenix was the smoother of the two. Now, probably the biggest thing that people are looking for is articulating arms when it comes to their cable towers. It was all the rage in 2025, and we're going to see that well into 2026. Now, both of these have completely articulating handles, allowing you to get just some crazy different positioning, both very low as well as very high. The one standout is that Force USA has the ability to lock out the pin, allowing these to be fully articulating, so that if you want to do some crazy functional exercises from one side of the room to the other, you can, but that's not necessarily something that is going to put it over the top in terms of your choices. For me, I didn't use it all that often, and a couple times I didn't realize I wasn't locked in, so I thought I was in a specific position and I was actually open, and so when I went to go do an exercise, it kind of moved all over, and it does take a little bit getting used to. Now, when it comes to square footage, both of these are slightly deceiving, and I think when you look at the square footage of the machine, I wouldn't take that into account so much as where and how you were going to place this. As far as the tandem tower goes, you have a very small footprint. And even though it is small, this thing is exceptionally sturdy. I will say this was really made to be kitty cornered. It's meant to be put in a corner, saving the most amount of space possible. Now, if you really wanted to save a whole bunch of space on the tandem tower, you can actually remove these legs. That's right, you can just take them off, and they actually give you brackets that allow you to connect the tandem tower directly to the floor if you wanted to bolt it down. Conversely, the GetRX is really meant to be put flat against a wall. The only caveat is if you were going to just put this flat against the wall, you've got to have a way to anchor it down. Now, you can bolt it to the floor, you can bolt it to the wall, you could probably bolt it to the ceiling if you want it, or you can get yourself weight pegs and put them on the rear of this device and then just add extra weight as weight storage in the back, allowing you not only to have weight storage, but also hold this thing down. I personally thought that that was the best option as far as saving space and for practicality. Keep in mind, if you go with the front feet on these for an additional $165, you are going to find it to be much more stable without any weight. However, it's going to take up a lot more space. Those front feet come way out in the front, and it basically has the same footprint as a complete functional trainer. So it's something you need to be aware of. I think if you can, the rear storage in terms of the weight or bolting it to the floor are going to be the way to go. One check in the win column for GetRX is this lat pull down and low row pad. I actually thought this was the best buy out of all their attachments that went with this Phoenix, because you were able to, with an adjustable weight bench, hold your legs down. You connect this to the upright in the front, it pins your legs down, and you can go ultra heavy on those lat pull downs. Or you can put this low, brace your feet, and do low rows on this. Force USA is already working on a product to release that will hold your legs down. They've already got one in design, and it's just a matter of time before they release it. So if you come to this video late, check out the links in the description, because if they release it, I'll put it down there. Stability. When you are clanging and banging with this thing, you want to make sure that it's not going to be rocking and rolling. You want to make sure that it's locked down. Now, when I had the GetRX, I had the front front feet, and it didn't budge, it didn't move. I will say there was some flexion at the top when I was going super heavy or super fast on my sets. There was just a little bit of flexion, a little bit of give. Conversely, the Tandem Tower, without any additional weight storage or additional feet, just as is, was rock solid. I mean, it was absolutely like nailed to the ground. And even when I was trying to get it to move, trying to get it to budge, it just didn't move at all. It didn't go anywhere. Now, one check in the win column for Force USA has to be the premium features. They really went all in, making sure that everything looked nice. They've got a nice facade on the trolleys, as well as they even have rear storage for their massively overbuilt foot plate. On top of that, you even get some storage along the top, front, left and right for your attachments. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts. Which of these should you buy for your home gym? I'm telling you straight away, don't look at the price. The prices are going to be so close by the time you buy all the attachments and this and that it's not going to matter after 10 or 15 years of ownership what you actually paid for it. Pick the right one for your home gym. Now, if you're going to be putting this in a corner, yeah, you got to go with the Tandem Tower. It's just a no-brainer. And the fact that they're working on that lap pad for your lat pull down is fantastic, and it's going to solve probably the biggest issue with that piece. And if you go with the Tandem Tower, make sure you get that extra weight stack upgrade. Now, if you care about the overall footprint, I will say GetRX'd probably has a sleeker footprint without those front feet, as long as you know how you're going to weigh it down, whether it's bolting it to the floor or using weight in the rear. Now, if you've got little ones that are going to be lifting with you, or maybe a wife at home, I would absolutely recommend the Tandem Tower over the GetRX'd Phoenix, only because those trolleys are going to be just easier to move because of their weight. Hopefully today's video made it easier for you to pick a winner for your home gym. Two things that are absolute winners: these two videos. Watch those videos, use the links in the description, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.
Vaya con Dios.